Today, as I am outside gardening, I am going to be talking to you about entrepreneurship. Yes, I am actually excited about this topic. As a Proverbs 31 woman, we can do that. I'm Rebekah with Learning Together by Grace, Homemaking God's Way. Let's go, y'all. Before I get started, I am so curious to know what your thoughts are on being an entrepreneur as a Proverbs 31 woman. I'm going to read to you Proverbs chapter 31. This is verse 16 through 19. It says, "She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not give out at night." And I'm also going to read verse 19. It says, "In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers." Y'all, I really love these verses in Proverbs 31. And the reason I'm saying that is because since I have been a homemaker, housewife, stay-at-home mom, homeschooling mom, I have been a part of different communities of homemakers and housewives. And I have seen some things where people have said that being a biblical housewife means to stay home and you just take care of the house, you support your husband in his jobs. You can't have, a job or have a business or anything of that matter. And to me, that is going against what the Word of God is saying. As it said in Proverbs 31, she considers a field. She considers a field and buys it out of her earnings. It didn't say out of her husband's earnings, but it says out of her earnings. And this is why I'm so excited to talk about this. As I've shared with you guys before, I have had a couple of businesses. I had a tutoring company for a little while, and I also had a dance company for a little while. And I also worked because I went to school to be a teacher. So I worked, got my degree, did all of those things. And so for me, when I hear people saying that a housewife, a biblical housewife, or a biblical homemaker cannot be working or bringing in an income, but her husband is the only one that can, it gives me pause because I really like to line up with what the Word of God says. And if it says in Proverbs 31 that the Proverbs 31 woman is looking at vineyards and she's paying for these things with her own earnings, that lets you know that God is pleased when we as women pursue entrepreneurship or even pursue careers. But as I always say, you have to know what is best for you and your family. You have to be obedient to God for what is best for you and your family. Because for me, God told me to stop working. This was back in 2017. I was very reluctant because I didn't listen immediately because I'm like, I'm not going to stop working. I just finished school and I'm finally teaching. I think that was like my third year teaching. I'm like, I'm not going to stop working. I worked really hard to get these degrees. No, it was a lot of work and it was a lot of time. It was a lot of patience. But when God told me to stop working, I had to trust and believe that it was for a very good reason. The longer that I have been away, the more I'm seeing the benefit and the fruit of me being home. Now, within that time frame, that is when I began my dance company. And I did that for 3 years. We moved to Texas, and I kept it for 1 more year, and then I ended up absolving the company. And in that, I even felt like, well, gosh, was I even supposed to do that? But later on, God showed me how me being obedient to open up that dance company actually helped our family out. So obedience, y'all. Obedience. Now, on to entrepreneurship and on to having a career. I want to encourage those moms out there, those wives out there, those women out there who are pursuing entrepreneurship, who are pursuing their career. I want to encourage you today. This is what this video is all about. It's going to encourage you because I want you to not listen to the noise. I want you to not listen to what culture is saying, and listen to what the Lord is saying to you for you and your household. Is it better for you to be working that 9 to 5 so that you and your family can get ahead in life? Is it better for you to own your own business, start that business because God has need of your business for the kingdom? Is it better for you to be at that job and you actually be planted in a place to where you can be a light for His glory? Wouldn't it be something wonderful to have a business of your own and that business be a beacon of hope and light to the community that you are around? And being able to actually give back and build up that community because you're walking in obedience with having that business. Wouldn't it be something wonderful if you were on that job and the very manager or supervisor or owner who is over you, they see something special in you and they want to know what it is. And then you have the opportunity to help lead someone to Christ. Y'all, God has us in many places. I think about Joseph. I think about Moses. They were, especially Joseph, he was he was like serving in a wicked kingdom. But God had him strategically placed there. And he was over many areas. But God did that intentionally because then he was able to bring his brothers and his father in when there was famine. He was able to save the people because God had strategically placed him to help them during time of famine. So now, I just want to ask you, Proverbs 31 woman, where has God planted you? Where has He planted you to thrive and survive? Is this in entrepreneurship? Or is this in a career? Or even a place that may not be a career, but maybe a temporary landing place for you to get to that career that you desire? But in that place, are you being a light for His glory? And I want you to also be encouraged. And I want you to not feel as if you have to defend where God has planted you as a Proverbs 31 woman in the workforce. Be a light. Pray for your other sisters, your counterparts, the homemakers that may speak otherwise. Pray for them and pray that God would show them truth and that there would be unity, because there's so much disunity out there in this world We don't need another sector of life to be disunified. We just don't need it, y'all. We need to be on one accord, and we need to be on the same line with whatever the word of God is saying. So, you guys, let me know down in the comments what your understanding of this portion of being a Proverbs 31 woman looks like. And I really want to know what it looks like for you and your family. How are things working out for you? Have you been in situations where people have maybe snubbed you or maybe even challenged your position in your household, with either working or having your own business, or staying home, being a homemaker, just solely at the house? Because I always say that homemakers are homemakers. It doesn't matter if you have a job or not. You're a homemaker if you're taking care of your home. But I do want to know some of the things that have been said. And what I want you to also do is, if you read a comment and you see something that it seems like your sister is hurting about, or you see that someone has spoken something over them that just isn't right, pray for them. We're a community, and we need to lift each other up in prayer. We need to build each other up in the faith, and we need to encourage each other with the word of God, because the beautiful thing about the word of God is that it never changes. So I want you sisters to know that I am grateful for you, and I am praying for all of you, and I want you to be thriving as a Proverbs 31 woman, either in your entrepreneurship or with you being home full time. You guys, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell so that you know when I post a new video. Next week, I will continue the Proverbs 31 series until I get done with that chapter. You guys, God bless you and take care. And I hope that you enjoyed my garden. And this is what I picked on this particular day. You guys, thank you again for sticking around to the very end. God bless you. Bye.